everyone, welcome back. My name is Meredith Garrison and I'm an instructor at Sora Aerial Arts, New Revolution Dance Studio, and Premier Dance. So today we are going to be doing some flexibility. Our focus is going to be our shoulders and back and also our neck. So focusing on things that you might want to do like back bends, back walkovers, or other just anything that's more back bendy. So getting that extension. So today I am going to be using a few yoga blocks, but you can use some big books from your house, maybe something that just gives you a little bit of sturdiness to prop yourself up in splits, because we are still going to do like a full flexibility class. We're not going to forget about our splits and things like that, but we are going to put a little bit of extra focus into our back today. And then you'll also see I have an ottoman behind me. We are going to do something that's going to require some kind of surface like this. So you could use a stool perhaps. An ottoman's going to work great, but an end table would also work, or some other flat surface. So grab those objects, and if you have a band, this is also a great thing to have, but you don't necessarily have to have one for the class. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to warm up. So I'm going to go ahead and start by doing some plies. So I'm going to do these in parallel, first, second, and fourth and fifth. And this is just to stretch out our hip flexors and our legs and just get us moving. So we're going to start with our feet in parallel, and we're just going to do before we do our plies, just do a few little, it's early in the morning for me filming this, and so especially if you've been sitting and working all day or just in your house, like let's just move. Let's do 8 little pedals. Then swing your arms up and over. Give yourself a little bend. And a little straighten, a little bend, and a little straighten. Let's do it again. And pedal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lean over and bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Okay? Now we're going to do a couple of plies, knees together. We're just going to do 4, really stretching. 4, open those toes out. Let's do that again. Tuck your pelvis underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do some big grand plies in second position, so you can get a nice wide second. Still lifting, and we want to keep our body up as tall as possible. Down, pulling those knees back, and up. Down, and up. 3, and up. 4, and up. Now we're going to cross our right foot in front. I should turn my light on. Well, let's cross our right foot in front. Toes still pointing out. Weight is in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Don't overextend your turnout. 4. Switch the feet. 1, 2. Pulling in. 3, 4. Right foot in front, we're in a 5th position cross. 1, 2, keep those arms out. 3, 4, and switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's just a nice little thing. And we're going to stand and we're just going to do a few little twists. In ballet, we do a twist in, out, and up, and it's called tire-bouchon, which means a corkscrew, Or at least that's the name that I know them by. Now I am moving my upper body too, but really what's happening is I'm just turning the knee in and out, in and out. I'm giving it a little swing and just letting it rotate. And I'm kind of adding in my upper body just for fun. All right, toes forward, feet apart. We're gonna reach forward. And we're gonna do those little pedals, but with our feet apart. So I'm gonna push in, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Let's go ahead and sit down. We're gonna start by doing a few little flutters just to get everything all warmed up. So I'm gonna go put my elbows on the ground. And I'm gonna try to keep my chest lifted. I'm gonna lift both legs up into a little V. And we're just gonna do 20 scissor kicks. Small. These should not be big. We're just gonna get our core activated and our hip flexors activated this morning. So we got 10 more to go. 8, 7, 6, 5. I'm internally rotated. 3, 2, 1. Give it a little break, and we're gonna externally rotate. And do that same thing again. So turning out, go ahead, point your feet. Lift your chest to the ceiling. Lift your legs, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep lifting. 5. Keep pointing. 10, halfway. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so you should feel nice and warm in your core and nice and warm in your hip flexors too. Now that we're getting a little warm, let's go ahead and go into our tabletop position. And we are going to do leg lifts. So we're going to start with, and this is really to activate our butt and our side butt. So my shoulders are right over my palms. My hips are right over my knees. And I'm going to start by lifting my right leg back so that it's even. I'm trying to keep my core engaged to my spine so that I'm not arching here. Then we're going to open to the side and come down. Let's do that going 5 times that direction and then 5 times the other way. Down. 3. 4. Engage. And 5. Other way. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Now I'm going to do the side. I'll just turn around. If you're listening to this music, this is Sleeping at Last, their album, Atlas the Enneagram. It's all about your Enneagram type and the songs that they wrote. If you don't know the Enneagram, it's like a personality kind of test, but like a little different than that. And when they wrote the songs, they commissioned someone from each personality type, and they're the only people who wrote, like, so from each personality type, they wrote a song for that personality type, and the only people who collaborated on the song were from that same personality type. So they're like really good. It's like a very creative, interesting process. So I recommend it. The group is called Sleeping at Last. One more this direction. And another way. kind of continue on this path. So I'm going to go up into my down dog. But to give ourselves a little rest, I'm going to pull my palms up off the ground for just a second. But let's just do a few little pedals. Kind of stretch out the back of the leg, the Achilles, and all of that. You can kind of move. Sometimes I twist my hips here to get a stretch to the side of my leg, my butt. Okay. And I'm also going to be pressing into my shoulders, so I'm getting a little bit of a stretch in my shoulders already. Which you'll definitely want if you already did my pull-up video. Okay, so now you can put your fists on the ground if you want to. You can leave your hands down. And we're just going to do some leg taps. So again, I'm going to have to come forward a little bit. Point your toe. We're going to stay internally rotated instead of external. I'm going to be pulling my core into my spine, and I'm just going to tap up. And you'll see, like, I can open and get this all the way up, but that's not my goal here. My goal is just to go to my full active extension without arching my back. So we're just activating our glutes, and we're doing 10 kicks here. Controlled, but still energized. And this is what's going to help you get like a standing split. All right, other side. So core engaged. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. All right, we're going to go back down to our knees to give ourselves a little bit of a break. Maybe roll out your wrists for a second. Especially if that's kind of hard on your wrists, just be careful with your body. It's not a contest, you just at home. Okay, so now we're going to do knee in and up. And we're going to do 10 where we keep our back and our spine engaged. And then we're going to do 10 where we open and allow ourselves to kind of do like a small extension with the back. Now we haven't done any other back stuff yet, so you don't want to like throw your leg up and really hurt yourself. So just be careful. And you can straighten the leg to get a bigger stretch. But just again, we're still, even though we're opening the back and arching a little bit, we're not engaging our core. We're still engaging our muscle groups. So let's start with 5. I'm going to start on my right leg. I'm going to pull my knee in and lift and 2 and lift. 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to do 5 where I allow myself to arch. Here we go. 1, 2, and you can straighten. 3, 4, 5. Other side. Left. 1, 2. Stay engaged. 3, no arching. 4, 5, and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We are going to come back up into our down dog. We'll need a little bit more space for this one. We're going to come up. And we're going to do, let me start with my right leg. It doesn't really matter. And you could put your fist down again, but just go into your down dog. We're going to point our toe to the side, and we're going to lift 5 times that way. And then we're going to tap around and around, and that equals 1. Okay? So let's start with those 5 taps to the side. Point the toe out, and we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're going to tap, lifting around 1, 5 times, 2, 3, 4, 1 more, 5, side. Five to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is sit down. We're going to do some mermaids. So go ahead and lay back. Oh, my music went off. Lay back on your arms. We're going to pull our toes in, flex down. We're going to do 5 like this. Up and down and up and down, keeping the chest lifted, up and down and up and down. And we're going to go the other way. Up and point and flex and point and 3 and 4. Keep up. 5. All right, now we're going to lay fully on our back. And a lot of times we do just regular kicks. Today I'm going to show you a different take on that. So we're going to do 20 sets of this. Lay all the way back. Left leg is going to go down. I'm going to point it. And then on my right leg, I'm pressing my back into the ground. Okay. My right leg is going to come in as high as my knee will go. Okay. Take it down, flex the foot, kick it up, and come back down. That's 1. So we're coming in, down, up, down. So we will do a whole bunch of these, 20. Here we go. Press it. In, up, 2, up, 3, up, 4, up, 5, up. You should start to feel it burn. 6, up, 7, up, 8, up, 9, up, 10, flex, 11, flex, 12, 13, keep that back press into the floor, 14, take a rest if you need to, 15, 16, couple more, 17, 18, breathe, 19, 20. Now, take this leg and grab it. If you can't grab it very much, just grab it down by your thigh. If you can though, grab the heel. And we're going to bend it in. Give it a little stretch. Bend it in. Give it a little stretch. Bend it in. Give it a little stretch, a little closer. Bend it in. Give it a little stretch. One more time. Bend it. Give it a little stretch. We're just going to hold this for a second. Resist against both, just a little bit. A few more seconds. Square your hips. And lower down. Now we're going to do 20 on this side. Woo, here we go. Point your right foot. And 1. Let me readjust. 1. 2. Doesn't have to be high the first time. We're just warming up. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. Make sure you're straightening all the way here. 12, 13, 14, 5 more, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, keep it up there. Grab it. Back is still pressed into the ground. Stretch through your micro bend. I know my leg doesn't look straight. It is. It's just how my leg is. Just how it looks. Now we're going to bend. And straighten. Bend. And straighten. Bend. And straighten. Bend. And straighten. Just hold it for a second. And relax. Maybe grab a drink. I'm getting warm, so this is coming up. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is to lay on our side. I'll start with my right leg again. And we're going to do a very similar idea. This time we're going to be externally rotated. I'm going to lay on my side. I like to just kind of prop my head up like this. I'm going to tuck my toes on the bottom of my mat here. And I'm externally rotated. So try to create like a first position with your toes out. Everything's engaged. If you need to move your legs more forward, you can. And then we're going to come in, down, up, down. Okay? So here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can start flexing here if you want to. 5, 20 again. 6, 7. To keep your foot prop, you have to stay externally rotated. So if you're starting to lose it, make sure you re-rotate, and that rotation should come from your hip. 11, 12, 13, keep that rotation. 14, 15. If it's low, it's okay. 16, 17, 18, 19 point. Flex. 20. Ooh, we're not going to hold that one. But we are going to change to the other side. So again, my rotation comes from my hips. It doesn't come from my feet. So I'm rotating my whole leg. Okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one thing that you can do is, like, if you're like me and you're hitting your shoulder with your knee, keep your leg, like your toes, as close to your leg as possible, and try to lift from there too, and you'll get a nice squeeze. So anyway, 4, 5. Try to get behind your body if you're getting really high. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, sweaty. And I should say that this exercise was adapted from an exercise that I found in the New York City Ballet Workout, which is like a 90s VHS, but it is on YouTube, and I highly, highly recommend if you're looking out for something else to help with your flexibility. It is a ballet floor bar 1 hour class. They have several. And I found this exercise on that, and it is what helped me get my split. Now, I was a kid when I danced, but I was not a very flexible kid. And when I was about 12 or 13, I did this like every day, and that's how I was able to get my split. So I do think that it's effective whether you're 13 or 100, that it would probably help you get your split. So don't lose that warmness. We better go ahead and get started here. So we're going to go to the back. So going to the back, it's going to be a little different. Instead of obviously pulling into a posse, we're going to pull our heel to our butt. Now when we do that, we want to stay engaged here. Jessica always says she wants to feel like she has like a blueberry underneath her belly button. I think that's a great image. So tuck really a lot, and I'm trying to feel like my tuck here. I don't know if you can see that engagement, but I'm trying to pull my heel to my butt down, and then I'm going to lift. And you see I'm not lifting very high because that would require me to arch my back. So we're actually going to do just 10 sets of these, because we're going to do another exercise. We're going to do 10 where we stay really engaged in our butt, and then 10 where after this we allow the back to arch and we kick up as high as we can. So here we go. Engage. 1, up, 2, keep engaging, up, 3, up, 4, up, 5. Now we're going to engage and arch. Engage and arch. And 3, and arch, and 4, and arch, and 5, and arch. All right, other side. Start that engagement. Engage, and lift, and 2, and lift, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, arch, 7, arch. Engage every time we do this. Engage and lift, and lift. And last time. And lift. Good. Let's do a little cobra stretch here. All right. I feel like before we get too cool, we should go ahead and do some lunges and some splits so that we don't lose what we just did here. So this is a great place to go ahead and grab blocks, books, something to prop you up if you need it. You can probably also use your table or ottoman to do this. But we're going to start with a nice big lunge. I'm going to start on my right leg. Yeah, I'll turn this way. So I'm going to prop my toe up in the back, leg up in the front, and then we're just going to hold this for a second. You can move kind of back and forth if you want to, but we're really engaged. Try to go a little deeper. Stay up really tall, and this is what your blocks are for, is to help you. So if you're struggling and you're like up here somewhere, so use those blocks to try to get as high up off of your leg as possible. So you're sitting up tall and you're engaged. Okay, go ahead and sit back down. And we are going to use our blocks, or whatever you have with you, to arch back. And we're going to move back and forth. let's just do 5. You should feel a nice stretch through your quad. I'm going to try to go back in a straight line. Harder to do than say. All right, now we're going to stretch back into this runner's lunge. Try to straighten your back and shoot your tailbone out and have a straight line through your head. So this is a really nice line. We're going to turn in and out. Okay, we're going to do pigeon at the end. So we're going to go ahead and go as much into your splits as possible. If you need to do an over split, it's a great time to do that. You've got your ottoman right here. Keep tucking so that you're nice and lifted. Squeeze both legs and engage. Let's just hang out here for a second. I find that if I'm engaged in pointing, I'm getting a much deeper stretch than if I relax into it, which I don't feel at all. So even though I do have an oversplit on both sides, I still feel this because I'm still engaging. Keep going. Oh, feel that stretch. Okay. If you can, lean forward. If you can't, just keep staying there just for a couple more seconds. Keep engaging. And if you can, arch back. All right, let's do the other side. Woo! That should feel nice and stretched now. All right, like I said, let's do the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my lunge. This should be at a 90-degree angle from the floor. And just stay up there. I'm really not putting any weight here. I'm stabilizing myself, but I'm not putting any weight there. So you can hold your arms out. And if you need to put them on your blocks to stabilize, you can do that too. Just hang out here for a second. Maybe go a little deeper. You want to keep this from going outwards. You want to pull that in. All right. Come back. Use those blocks. We're going to do this nice little stretch where we arch. Ready to go. Back and down. So we're doing 5, 2. We're trying to create like a cinnamon roll with our head and leg. 3. So you're curling. 4. 5. Pull up. And whew. It's getting warm. Just go down as far forward as you can. Keeping the back flat. The more I send my tailbone back, the more I'm going to feel this stretch in my hamstring. And we're going to turn in and out 10 times. That feels tight today. Like I said, it's not a contest. I'm pretty bendy, but the other day, like sometimes our bodies just aren't having it for whatever reason, and that's okay. Like just keep up your flexibility practice. The other day I worked for about 2.5 hours. This was last week. Engaging, we're engaging, and we're talking through the pain. I worked for probably 2.5 hours on back flexibility, leg flexibility, and then afterwards I felt like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't pull my needle scale, and was having trouble holding my chest stand, and it's just an off day for me. So don't take those days as your true ability. Those days are just bad days that we're having flexibility wise. So you'll have days where everything seems to go really well and your body's really working with you, and other days where you feel like your body's working against you. And that could be for any number of reasons, like maybe you didn't get enough sleep and you're just fatigued. For me, I think I actually just stretched too long, and my body was tired by the time I got to doing some of those tricks. I had already done like a ballet workout that day and quite a few other things, and so by the time I got to trying to like pull my needle scale, I simply couldn't balance it. But I'm not going to take that and say, well, like, I just suck at this. I'm going to lean forward if you are here. I'm just going to take that and say, like, oh, that was not my best day. Maybe I need to treat my body better, so maybe I needed to drink more water. Maybe I just needed to maybe I just needed a rest day. And so that's important too, because a lot of times with flexibility, let's go into our straddle. A lot of times with flexibility, we feel like, okay, I just need to keep doing it, keep doing the splits, keep doing the splits, keep doing the splits until I get them flat. But overuse can actually cause your body to go in the other direction. So be really intentional about your flexibility practice, but like trying to sleep in your splits position or just staying there for a really long time will actually cause, especially as an adult, your body to seize up and maybe do the opposite, or simply cause your muscles to get fatigued and then they'll get tighter. So doing these flexibilities practices like every other day is really good, and like moving through things is really good, and doing a variety is also really good, because if you just do the same thing over and over again, it doesn't seem to be working. Don't get discouraged, just maybe try a new way. So pick somebody else's video, go through the whole thing, versus I think a lot of people are just like, they do a few things and then they try to go into their splits like, this isn't working well. You just kind of have to be strategic and intentional about it. So that's my spiel for today. I think I have one in every video. I'm just like, I'm tired. I'm just being in this room talking to my own camera, so I'm just gonna go. This is my platform. I can say whatever I want. Just kidding. And reach forward. Yay. Go all the way forward. And come back up. Okay. Now we're going to focus on that back step that I said we were going to focus on, which actually we've been doing a lot of exercises for our back, but we will go ahead and do some more. Alright, so now we are going to utilize our ottoman or your table or whatever it is that you have. And I saw this exercise on Micah Walters' contortion Instagram page. I thought it was an awesome exercise. I got up, I tried it right then, and I love it. So you're going to lay on your ottoman or whatever, and you could go either way. This is going to be harder. The long way is going to be easier. And again, like this will also work with like a small table. He used an end table that was just like real small, kind of like a stool. So just find something in your house that you'd be able to use. I'm going to put my legs off and my body on. I'm going to hold the sides. And you're going to do knees in and out. Knees in and out. Now the purpose of this exercise is to strengthen your lower back. So that can be for arabesque, it could be for your splits, your back bend. Like there's so many things that we have to use our lower back in. If you're super flexor, you've been working on a chin stand and you're struggling with that, could be that your lower back isn't strong enough to hold you up in that position. So this is going to help with that. We're just going to do 10 repetitions. So find a spot where you're not going to like fall over, which is kind of hard. And if it's high enough, then you can kind of really pull in. Mine like doesn't have anything that I can pull my knees totally in on. That's okay. But here we go. 1, 2, have a yoga block, great, get it. We're gonna put our hands on each side of the yoga block, elbows on your table or your ottoman, and we're just gonna stretch out our shoulders a little bit. I'm gonna try to engage my back here and let my shoulders stretch. I can go between. If you don't have a yoga block or something to hold, that's okay. Just try to keep your arms in place. I'm just going to stretch this a little bit. Now we're going to tap a couple of times. Let's do 10 taps. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now let's pull this all the way out. I'm going to scoot this forward just so you all can see me in my video stuff. I'm going to put my yoga block in my hands just so that I have something between my palms to press against. But again, you can just put your arms up there. We're going to keep them completely straight. And we're going to walk back and just give another big stretch. This time I am going to let my self arch a little bit so that I can try to press my chest to the floor. And I'm just going to try a couple of times to do that. Now, if you do have your yoga block, I'm going to move this to the side. We might use it again. We'll see. If you do have the yoga blocks, great. We're going to sit on them. Otherwise, stack up some books and sit on those. I feel bad to say to sit on books, but find something that you can kind of sit on. I'm going to tuck, let me sit this way so that you can see. I'm tucking my toes underneath, and I'm going to sit on these blocks. So get this nice and situated. Tuck your toes under. I will say the hardest part about this whole stretch for me is keeping my toes tucked. I don't know, like I do not have flexible toes, so maybe that's something that we can all work on. You're going to try to squeeze your knees together while you sit here. And you're going to use your ankles to kind of prop you up. Okay? So what we're going to start with is we're just going to go forward, reach to the side, both hands on the heels, arch up with your chest to the ceiling. And then to the other side. And forward. We're going to just kind of slowly get everything all situated here. So here we go. Forward, side, back, side. Oh my gosh, my toes are struggling. That's okay. Forward again. Side. Lifting. And forward. Now we're going to go the other way. Side. One more time. Forward. Side. Back. Forward. All right. That's enough of those toes. I learned this stretch from On and her Kintortion method. It's K-I-N torsion. Kintortion. You should follow her on Instagram. She's awesome. Okay, so next thing that we're going to do is get a little bit more into our back. So you can sit back on your toes again for this one. That's feeling really funky to me today. My feet just hurt all the time. I even bought these socks called Apollo socks, Apollo Shocks. I saw them advertising on Instagram. They're like a compression sock for dancers. So if your feet are always hurting, they do help, but it is making like the toe stretch thing really difficult. So, all right, so I'm gonna sit like this. And I'm just gonna look to the side and down to my shoulder. Let's do a few of those on each side. Just sitting up nice and tall. Tilt to the other side. Look to the ceiling. Look to your shoulder. Shoulders back and down. Couple more. All right, now we're going to do some back raises. So I'm going to get these out of my way. You could like prop your feet underneath your table or your ottoman or something else. I'm not going to. Instead, I'm just going to lay flat onto my mat. And you can also prop your feet against like a wall or something if you need something, or if you are living with someone, you can get them to sit on those feet and do this partner thing with you. You know, pull them out of whatever quarantine thing they're doing. Get your toddler to sit on you. They may already be doing that if you have one. So let's just lay. I'm going to try to keep my feet kind of together. Easier version is just going to keep hands by the side. A little harder, arms out, and hardest, arms up. I'm going to go for the easier version so that I can get a little bit more into my back arch. But strength-wise, we want to really be using our muscles. So, well, okay, fine. I'll do the harder version. We're just going to do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Okay. Let's do a few arm circles. I did a really long pull-up workout, arms workout yesterday. So this is really tight for me. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit looser. Other way. Whew. And then forward. Because we're going to do some back bends, and you do have to have some shoulder flexibility in order to do that. So just swing back and forth. Let's just do a few of these. Other way. And then this is one of my faves. Just grab the fingertips and pull. So you're going to need a little bit of wall space. I don't have a 10, but I have what I have, and so do you. So find a little bit of wall space, and we are going to do a stretch against the wall. We're going to get our arms completely straight. Let me move this back a little further. We are going to use a little bit of wall space, so grab a wall in any wall will do. You just have to have a little bit of space here. I'm gonna straighten my arms all the way, and we're going to be contacting the wall with the center of our chest and our chin. So I'm gonna face the wall. I'm gonna put my arms straight up above my head. I'm gonna walk to the wall and put my chin and my chest on the wall. Now I'm gonna walk my feet backwards until that's the only thing that's on the wall, except for my hands. And we're gonna hold this for a second. All right, now if you need another stretch with that, because we're gonna do this again, and next time we're gonna hold it longer, grab a yoga block or a book. You're gonna place that underneath your chin, like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and figure out where I need this on my wall. I already know I probably need it like here, and I can move it down if I need to. So my chest is gonna go below the block, and my chin is gonna go on the block to give myself a bigger neck stretch. So I'm gonna place my chin on the block, chest on the wall, arms up, and walk out. Keep holding. Keep holding. Breathe. Maybe go down a little further. And come out slowly. Come out slowly. We're going to do that one more time. So put the block on the ground. If you need it even higher, you can always move that block out from the wall a little bit. I don't feel like doing that tonight, so chin on the block. Try to go a little deeper this time. Keep going. Breathe. Relax your face. Okay. Ooh, come out of that. Now we're gonna do an exercise that is very, it should feel hard. That's like all of this will probably feel hard, but this feels like especially hard to me. We are gonna stand face against the wall again, and we're gonna put our arms up, and we're just gonna try to arch back, staying up against the wall. This is not an easy stretch at all. It's pretty difficult, and so you're probably not gonna be able to go into your full back bend from here. Just go as far as you feel comfortable going, especially because you might be alone in your house, and so you don't wanna do anything stupid. So don't go further than you know that you can. And I got this exercise from Acrobatic Arts. So I'm gonna put my feet about hip distance apart. I'm gonna go maybe a little bit wider. Then easier version is gonna be to just tilt the head back, press the pelvis into the ground, and arch from there. Harder version is gonna be to put the arms up. And again, this is about strengthening and stabilizing and also stretching the upper back. So arms up or arms by your side. We're just gonna try to go back here. We're gonna try this a couple times. So I'm starting with my head and controlling. And we're gonna come back. And up. All right, let's try that again. Starting with the head, engage. Control it. And then arching. Chest first. And then come back up. Right, so you don't want to go down further than you know that you can get back up. So take it really slow. I went a little deeper that time than I did the previous time, but I'm not necessarily going into my deepest extension in my back. I'm trying to this will help you if you're trying to go learning to go into a standing, like a back bend from standing, or trying to learn how to get up from standing, this is a good exercise for that. Let's do it 2 more times. Maybe go a little deeper than you did the last time. Legs a little bit further than hip distance apart. You can turn them out slightly if you need to. And then we're just gonna arch back head. Keep everything against the wall. And then you go upper chest as deeply as you can. And then get into the mid back. And then get into the low back. And we're gonna come back up. If you do have someone at your house who's willing, you could have them spot you by just putting a hand against your back and helping you go down like spinal, like bone by bone, until you're in your full back bend. If you know that you're strong and you're just scared. So like for instance, my husband's working, but if he wasn't, I might have him just kind of spot me into that because I know that I could get there, but I'm a little scared to do it by myself with all of this glass around me because I just don't want to like hit my head on the floor. It's just not a smart thing to do. So let's do this one more time. And just be your smartest self. So I'm going bone by bone and really controlling my way down. Engage. And back up. And try to go back up the same way you did. So you do lower and then upper. Okay, it is time to do some back bends. So we're gonna start, I'll lower my camera here. But we're gonna start by staying against the wall. So I'm gonna put my palms down on the floor, okay? I'm gonna move my mat against this just for comfort. So you can do this from standing and go down so that your wrists are pressing against your baseboard, and your arms and head are pressing against the baseboard. Or you can do it from the ground. It's really up to you and what feels good to you. So I'm gonna come away. I am going to walk myself down. So I'm just gonna be careful, but I'm gonna go back. And I can even practice what I just worked on a second ago. On the ground, and I'm gonna walk myself all against the wall. And I'm just gonna press against the wall. And we're gonna hold it for about 30 seconds. You can kind of rock back and forth. And let's go ahead and come out. Just be careful coming out. All right, so we're gonna do that one more time. Okay, one more time. Maybe practice the walk down. You can even use the wall to help you if you're kind of iffy on going down, but you're like progressing really quickly. So I'm just gonna get my feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Arms up, and again, you can press up from the floor. If you wanted to use your blocks here, you could prop them up, and you'll get a little bit different of a stretch. I've misplaced my other box, so I'm not gonna do that. And just press. You may try straightening your legs if you can. And just hold it straight, show your arms, press up from your shoulder blades. And let's come out. Let's give it a nice bend forward. Whew. All right. I'm gonna move the camera real quick. stretch everything out. I would recommend maybe trying your back bends away from the wall and just see how that goes for you. But let's do a little cool down. So we're going to go into our butterfly and just lean forward. Now this is one of my tighter areas, so everybody's different. Just reach forward. Maybe give it a little sway back and forth. All right, then I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to go into my right pigeon stretch. If you want a bigger stretch, pull the heel out away from the body. This is a tough stretch for me because I'm pretty tight here because of all those exercises that we did. But to help relieve that, I'm going to lean forward, trying to keep my back leg straight and engaged. And I'm just going to breathe in and try to consciously relax my glute. Again, breathe in. And on the exhale, release. Last time, breathe in. And consciously relax. I'm going to do my other side. A lot of people like to do this as a warm-up stretch. I like to do it as a cool-down stretch just because I'm just so tight there. So lean forward and breathe in. Exhale and relax. Breathe in. Exhale and relax. One more time. Breathe in. Exhale. All right, last thing that we're going to do is just triangle it up. I don't know what this is called. I call it a triangle. It's not really a triangle. Isosceles maybe, I don't know. I wasn't really good at math. And then we're just going to slowly release, rounding our back into the floor. And if your back feels really like you've done a lot, then maybe do that a couple more times. But otherwise, thank you for joining me for flexibility, and I'll see you for another video soon.